Radio.
You're listening to Cryptocurrent, the only podcast that explores the bold projects, exciting opportunities, and the growing reach of blockchain and cryptocurrency. Whether you've got skin in the game or you're just crypto curious, keep an open mind, enjoy the conversation, and stay cryptocurrent. Now here's your host, Richard Carthon.
Hey everyone, your host here, Richard, and I don't know if you've taken the time to check out our website, www.crypto-current.co, but we have made quite a few improvements. It's actually been really impressive to see the amount of traffic we've been getting over the last several weeks. So please check it out. We have a lot of information, a lot of new blog posts that you would probably enjoy seeing, so I just want to encourage everyone to check that out. Now enough of this, time to dive into this week's episode. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Cryptocurrent. Your host here, Richard Carthon. And today I got a special guest all the way out in LA working on an extremely cool app and actually has a product that is being used and is vastly growing and is extremely practical and excited to learn more about. We have Will Reeves with Fold app. How are you doing today?
I'm doing very well. It's great to be here.
Of course. Well, before we dive into the interview, how about you give us a little bit of background about yourself?
Yeah, awesome. So I currently am CEO and co-founder of Fold, and we give you Bitcoin rewards for shopping. And so instead of airline miles, hotel points, we give you a new way to earn Bitcoin instead of buying it. And it really was a kind of a long journey to get here. I've been an entrepreneur founder in Silicon California for the past decade, building consumer products, at places like Google, innovation labs within larger companies, and then as a founder myself. And so I've kind of seen, how to bring products to market that reach a ton of people and that introduce kind of new technologies to everyday people. And so I've decided to take this, and the rest of my team came together to make Bitcoin more accessible and rewarding. So all our team comes from some incredible backgrounds. And so we've all kind of marshaled our efforts to solving the adoption conundrum for Bitcoin.
No doubt, and it's definitely a big conundrum to try to tackle, and you've definitely done it in a unique way, and we'll dive into that more in a second. But what was your first introduction into the cryptocurrency and blockchain space? Like, when did you first hear about it, and what made you think this is something that I should turn into a career?
Well, I don't think it's my. I'd say I had 3 or 4 pretty seminal introductions to Bitcoin, and it took me a long time to ever even think it could turn into a career. So at first introduction, when I was living down in Argentina, and a developer down there introduced me to Bitcoin. And this happened to be during one of the economic defaults of Argentina. And he had been using it to store his value, take it out of the existing system and put it into something that wasn't being affected by any of the economic policies going on in his country. So it was pretty fascinating to see it used as a safe haven asset, even so long ago. I saw it used in remittance payments for migrant workers in the Sonoma Valley, where you have a lot of wine production. So people sending money back to their families, primarily in Latin America, and Bitcoin for some made sense to escape fees and various other things. Saw it used in Occupy Wall Street for donations and payments that couldn't be shut down by a PayPal or whatever platform it was. And so each of those shows a different value of Bitcoin, the asset, and has been really fascinating to watch all those use cases kind of continue to grow, get stronger over the years. And I looked at how can I make the biggest impact on this space, and coming from a consumed building payments technology for everyday people, it was really about how do we make this asset more readily available and accessible to people who may not fully understand it. And so creating a frictionless experience to accumulate it without having to purchase it, without having to submit to KYC, seemed like a great thing. And so Fold came to be to give you Bitcoin cash back.
Yeah, and you touched on the last point you made of not having to go through KYC, not having to go through all these other hurdles just to initially get in, but also bring it into a practical use case of, hey, I'm already doing everyday interactions and things in the marketplace and buying XYZ. How can I just provide this way to bring it to all consumers to be able to get Bitcoin? And it sounds like you found a unique way to do that. So when did the first idea or notion of Fold app like come to you, and then you're like, okay, I'm going to build this, and I'm going to walk us through like the creation of your company?
It wasn't a straight line by any means. It was kind of squiggly, and a lot of it has to do with learning the true value proposition of Bitcoin. And so Fold actually initially started off with trying to solve the problem. A lot of people have Bitcoin, but there's really nowhere they can use it. Now, hodling it, saving it was, a well-supported use case, but the kind of medium of exchange piece really wasn't there. And so Fold initially started off allowing you to spend Bitcoin and purchase things at places like Starbucks. That saw some great adoption. It was an amazing use case for having a public way to show Bitcoin as an asset that can work in the real world. It was, made it real for a lot of people. But what we've learned is that, the true value right now is really in Bitcoin as an asset to hold and to accumulate, and as to kind of accumulate over the time. And what we've seen is it's been the best performing asset over the last decade. So what that means is for the majority of people, it's more important for them to hold it than to spend it at the moment. Now, it's not true for everyone, but for people primarily in countries like the United States, that use case is probably going to be the most important. And so we shifted the conversation to, okay, how do we give Bitcoin rewards for spending Bitcoin? So essentially, how can we compete against the credit cards that give you, rewards for spending your fiat? How can we create a parallel structure for Bitcoin? And so this was spend your Bitcoin and earn cash back. From there, we added credit cards and debit cards because we knew that there are far more people that don't have Bitcoin but want it. And so if we just opened up the floodgates to allow anybody to sync a debit or credit card, spend at their retailers that they shop at every day, that they would be able to start to earn it too. And that's really when we saw a massive inflection point in the product. This is about in October of last year. And, users started to go up, amount of rewards being distributed go up, and volumes. And so we really worked through a trial and error effort to see really what was the most effective thing we can build for the most amount of people. And the market will tell us what succeeds. And it was loud and clear.
Absolutely. And as you were learning from your users and seeing how they were using these rewards to accumulate and kind of hold on to Bitcoin, you've kind of progressed and I don't want to say pivoted, but kind of went into a new direction with your product, which was, which I think you recently just launched, which is the rewards Visa card. How has the success been with it? And like, walk me through, like, if I'm a new person and I want to sign up for this card so that as I do my different transactions in my life that I can earn Bitcoin. Can you walk me through how that process works?
Yeah, so we had our existing app out there, and we were approached by Visa, because they were curious about what traction we were seeing. This was not a typical Bitcoin pitch that they've heard, and so they were very interested. And this ultimately culminated in a joint effort to bring about a Bitcoin rewards card. And so with Fold, this card works exactly like your existing debit card does today. It is attached to your, a USD balance that you can spend down. And instead of earning any points or anything like that, you're earning Bitcoin. And so it really doesn't change your daily life at all. All you need to do is download the Fold app on the Apple or the iOS or Play Store. You can download the app. You can get on the wait list. So that the wide release is in July. But what users are going to see is that this card is from the ground up, from the benefits and how it works is geared towards people who want to learn and accumulate as much Bitcoin as possible. And so you're going to use it just like any other card in your wallet right now, except instead of airline miles, you're going to earn Bitcoin right into your Fold account that then you can withdraw to your personal wallet or keep there and save it.
Got you. which is, oh man, it's very unique. And just like you said, and the fact that you're able to pull in such a huge customer such as Visa for something like this just shows where this is headed and getting closer to market adoption. Like this could be a clear-cut way that more and more people get into this type of rewards program. So yes, we're starting with your everyday consumer, but like are there plans to eventually get this into like corporate level to where they could also from a business standpoint, like let's say I have a business entity and they're doing a lot more transactions, would they be able to sign up for something like this? Like where do you see Fold app growing to?
We primarily look at ourselves as serving kind of consumers. And so we are going to focus on that element. We are going to launch our debit card first. Our credit card will follow after. But we have already seen a big demand for a corporate version of this card as well. So it's definitely something we're thinking about. But, our primary focus is getting as much Bitcoin into the hands of as many people as possible in as little amount of time.
Excellent. And so right now you said there is a wait list. So for everyone listening, if you want to, sign up for this or get on this, download the app, see how you can get involved with this because it definitely seems like a really unique and amazing opportunity. Will, what are some ways that people can either learn more about this or like just continue to get some more information and sign up for this wait list?
You can go to our website at foldapp.com and we have a whole page dedicated to this card program. You can see some video, read more about the program itself. But I really encourage everyone to just jump into the app, download it. You can earn cash back when you shop at Amazon, Sephora, Uber, DoorDash, pretty generous amounts back. And so I encourage people to start stacking sats immediately. Get on the wait list for the card. Now, don't be surprised. There are over 30,000 people on this list currently, and that's growing very quickly. But you can move up the list by sharing with friends and family. But otherwise, we will be having a wide rollout of this in Q3 of this year.
Excellent. Well, shifting gears a little bit, there's a lot that's going on in the crypto and blockchain space right now, even with how COVID has just come and affected global markets with the regular global markets, but also how it is potentially affecting the adoption and how people are viewing cryptocurrencies. What do you think are some things that people should be looking out for in the near term and even potentially in the long term for the crypto and blockchain space?
Yeah, it's a pretty amazing time in the space right now. You couldn't imagine a more perfect set of events to position up for the true test of the asset. So we're seeing COVID come through. Governments are responding with printing trillions of dollars, more money than they've printed in the past 200 years. They're printing right now, and so it is an amazing example of infinite money versus finite, scarce money being Bitcoin. And so the value proposition really starts to shine. It is also a time when, airlines, Warren Buffett pulled all his money out of the airlines. We could see major defaults, bankruptcies going on there, which would have a very severe effect on all of the airline mile programs going on around the operated by both credit card companies and the airlines themselves, which would create a big void in the market. And Bitcoin is positioned very well to take up the mantle of a fundamentally better reward than what currently is offered. And then, of course, the big news is sometime tomorrow, on May 11th or May 12th, we have the halving event where the block subsidy or block reward cuts in half. So the half as much Bitcoin will be minted than normal. So what we're going to see is a potential for some interesting activity coming from Bitcoin, especially on the price side. But additionally, it's becoming a more and more scarce asset where USD and fiat around the world is becoming more and more infinite. So it's going to be a real true test of it.
Absolutely. And the first point you brought up, I just want to revisit because I don't know if people truly understand how just game-changing the world is right now, especially in the sense of the U.S. economy. So in the first 200 years of the U.S. existence, $2 trillion of debt created. We have printed $3 trillion in the first quarter of 2020. Like, let that marinate for a second. How cryptocurrency, especially Bitcoin, is so powerful is that you can't print more. You can't go make more. It's finite supply and demand. We was talking about with the halving event and a store of value that is is truly starting to look more and more like digital gold. So I think there's a lot more attention that's being brought to the crypto space because of it. I think that what would have happened a decade from now or within the next 5 to 10 years is being probably expedited, I think, in the next 3 to 5 years, simply because as the world has changed, I think how people look and perceive the store of value of an asset has also are looking into new areas. And I think crypto is going to be a prime time location of where they look for that.
Well, I couldn't agree more. It's it is what it's really, you can really imagine, Bitcoin was created after on the tail end of the last financial crisis, and it has essentially had 10 years to prepare for this moment. And so it is going to be very interesting to see how it performs in the exact set of conditions it was created for.
No doubt at all. Well, Will, I really appreciate you coming on the show, spending some time letting us know about the Fold app and all the incredible things that are happening with the company. But what is a final thought that you want to leave with everyone listening here today?
I mean, I would say it's my favorite thing, and the thing about the space is that it is such a community-oriented and community-driven space. You have, and builders like myself, content creators like yourself, benefit greatly from people trying out these products, giving feedback, because that's what's going to make these products better and more effective at ultimately furthering adoption. So whether it's start listening to more podcasts, give insights to people who are building products on how to make it better, that is something that anybody can contribute to the ecosystem, even if they're not building, even if they're not creating content, and even if they don't have that much cryptocurrency in their current portfolio. So really, it's about supporting the builders, making sure they're doing great work, and that will forward the space immensely.
No doubt. Paying it forward, building this community, and just finding ways to collaborate instead of everyone trying to build their own island. We got to start building bridges, and we got to keep finding ways to educate others so that they can be knowledgeable of all this great, amazing opportunity that's in the world of cryptocurrency, and just giving them the tools to be able to capitalize on it and act today. And so I really do appreciate that final thought, and for you spending some time with us today. What are some ways that people can connect with you?
You can find me, on Twitter. I'm occasionally there. I'm at WLRVS. You can find us at fold_app. We have lots of good content, both just on what's happening with Bitcoin overall, but new product updates and promotions. So follow us, and we hope to give you something valuable, and if anything, help you stack some sats.
Excellent. Well, again, really appreciate your time today, and for everyone listening, stay cryptocurrent. Hi, everyone. Thanks for listening to another episode of Cryptocurrent. For more information on this episode and all of our episodes, please visit us at www.crypto-current.co. Stay up to date with the latest news in cryptocurrency. You'll receive daily emails Monday through Friday that are personalized and curated content specific to you and your interest, powered by artificial intelligence. Are you an accredited investor looking to invest in cryptocurrency? Crescent City Capital can help. Go to crescentcitycapital.com for more information. If you're finding value in our content, please take 5 minutes to leave a 5-star review and a great comment. Also, please make sure to share this podcast with others. Hello, everyone. I hope you're enjoying the quality of this podcast. I can only thank my amazing producer, Andrew DeRitter, with DeRitter Productions, who has put this together. If you have any podcast, visual, or video needs, please go to DeRitterProductions.com. That's DERITTER Productions.com.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Cryptocurrent with Richard Carthon. We'll be back with more exciting developments from the world of blockchain and cryptocurrency next week. But until then, stay cryptocurrent.
Please use available exits now.